I think today's gonna be a good day. And hopefully the power doesn't go out this time. I don't think it's gonna. I think we've got that issue stamped out. So we can continue the show with no issues. Just gonna relax today a little bit. Well, I guess every day is a relaxed day, but I've got all of my editing in order. And I don't have anything extra to edit. Everything's on schedule today. It's been a good day. Been a good, productive day. And I have a spread shop down there in the description if you want to buy some of my merch. It's in the link tree if you're on anything except YouTube, but YouTube also has a link tree. But down there in the description is where you'll find everything, all of my things, including my merch store. Good time to end the music. All right, let's get into the show. Where's my screen? There it is. So I played BioShock like a week ago. I beat it. I beat BioShock. It was a very difficult game there toward the end until I discovered this guy right here. This wrench. The wrench is everything. Wrench is life. The wrench build overpowered. From Bisley Channel. The best BioShock game. Let's check it out. This is a long video.
BioShock is a timeless masterpiece. It completely changed the games industry when it released back in 2007. And to this day, it is still one of my favorite games of all time. From this breathtaking world design to the greatest narrative twist in all of gaming. There's a reason this game is so beloved.
Alright, what's with this guy's green screen? Like, I'm just getting started into learning green screen stuff. I want to get to this guy's level. Holy shit, man.
All these years later, and I want to show you why. So would you kindly join me on a journey through...
Don't listen. Would you kindly is a trap.
BioShock starts off with a plane crash. You find yourself stranded in the Atlantic Ocean, fighting to get to the surface. And once you do, there's nothing but flaming wreckage all around you, and a lighthouse within swimming distance. This is all the information you get before you are thrust into the driver's seat. For an introduction, it doesn't do much to introduce you to the world or give you any idea what to expect. But that's on purpose. All it's meant to do is establish the tone and pique your curiosity. See, BioShock is built kind of like a mystery, where it will...
Alright, what's with this guy's editing, man? It's incredible. I'm gonna turn this down. Is this choppy on my end, or is this video just choppy?
Will give you a hook, something to form a question in your mind.
I think it might just be choppy. I'm gonna turn it back up.
Rather than give you the answer, it gives you the tools to find the answer for yourself. And this introduction immediately creates questions in your mind. Like, what happened to the plane? Why is this lighthouse conveniently placed exactly where we crashed? And what lies in the darkness beyond this golden doorway?
This game really does look incredible for its time, man. It really holds up. It feels good, too. I actually like the fact that there's no sprint mechanic. There's no extra mechanics. It's just a straight-up shooter.
The trick to this gameplay loop is that when you find those answers, you'll likely just end up with more questions. Once again, we're given just a taste of information. A statue of a man, and beneath him, a plaque telling us his name.
You don't even need any of this information to actually play it either, is the best part. It's just a game-ass game.
Andrew Ryan. All around us, impressive architecture, just leaving you to wonder, who could have built this, and why would they do it here in the middle of the ocean? Moving further into the lighthouse to figure out what exactly is going on here leads you to probably the most bizarre discovery yet. In the center of the room sits a submarine, emitting golden light that beckons you inside. It's called a bathysphere, basically just a creative way of saying submarine, and it's gonna take us down to the next leg on our journey.
It's a submarine elevator, more like.
But if you take a look out the window, things are looking a little different from what you'd expect. Where exactly are we going? What the fudge is going on right now? Well, I'm gonna let Andrew Ryan tell you about that.
Tell me about it, Andrew Ryan.
Andrew Ryan, and I'm here to ask you a question. Is a man not entitled to the sweat of his brow? No, says the man in Washington, it belongs to the poor. No, says the man in the Vatican, it belongs to God. No, says the man in Moscow, it belongs to everyone. I rejected those answers. Instead, I chose something different. I chose the impossible. I chose rapture.
This is one of the most iconic openings in video games ever, and it is
incredible. There's nothing like it. When I was opening up playing this on the live stream, which by the way I do every single night at 10 p.m. on this channel, when I was opening up playing it, I was getting chills because it holds up so well, man.
This is exactly why I fell in love with this game so long ago. You can see the Art Deco design language was inspired by the GE building in the Rockefeller Center. Statues here inspired by the one of Atlas holding up the world. And all around, a myriad of advertisements for things like casinos or high-end lounges. This world beneath the waves is one of high class and luxury. It's like how people who've never been to New York see that city. The elegant buildings in the skyline, the bright, colorful lights in Times Square, dreams of suits and cigars. But that dream of beautiful, classy New York, it fades the second that you meet a naked crackhead on the subway.
True. True. So true. It really throws you right in.
Holy shit, it's the crackhead. No! What the? Nope, I'm out.
Well, there went the last semi-normal person in BioShock.
Is it someone new?
You know, I played through that whole game, and I even, like, listened to a lot of the story. I still don't know what happened to the people. Like, why are they all crazy?
Would you kindly pick up that shortwave radio? I don't know how you survived that plane crash, but I've never been one to question Providence. I'm Atlas, and I aim to keep you alive. Now keep on moving. We're gonna have to get you to higher ground.
Those first steps that you take into Rapture plunge you into its unwavering atmosphere, evoking a mixture of fear for your life and curiosity, wondering what could have corrupted this supposed utopia. All the while, you're in awe of the astonishing art direction. It so easily could have been like a submarine where you don't even really realize you're underwater. But instead, there's these windows placed everywhere, constantly reminding you of the impossible city you're exploring. Clearly, there is something wrong here, right? That is apparent from both the murderous knife hands lady and also just the environment around. That's one thing BioShock does amazingly, is environmental storytelling. And that's apparent here in the first level, where if you look around, you see all these different signs, like this one that says, Ryan doesn't own us. It makes a couple of things clear. One, there was a struggle here around the bathyspheres and maybe the people wanted to go up. And also, maybe not everyone in Rapture was so fond of Andrew Ryan. The clear aftermath of chaos displayed in the environment does a lot to establish this game's horror elements, but the heavy lifting is done through lighting. Now, how the developers were able to achieve this terrifying lighting almost 20 years ago, I have no idea, but it is incredibly effective at immersing you into this nightmare.
We're gonna need to draw her out of hiding.
I think when I played the remastered version, they lose a lot of that lighting, because I didn't really get any of that. It was, everything for the most part was pretty lit up and colorful and cartoon style. I think the original version probably was grittier, and playing on an older monitor probably helps, because new monitors are more colorful.
But you're gonna have to trust me.
Hey, what you mean draw her to hide him? What you talking about? Good heavens!
Man, fuck those robots.
Find a crowbar or something.
Yeah, whatever you say, man. Up until this point, we've been defenseless, only capable of processing our surroundings. This does a lot in establishing a fear of this game's enemies, known as splicers. These were once proud citizens of Rapture who became addicted to a substance called Atom. Their Atom abuse caused their minds and bodies to become twisted.
Oh, you mean the same stuff that you use on yourself throughout the whole game?
Beyond repair. Now there are a couple different kinds of splicers in this game, but these base ones are really not that tough. It's the spider splicers that are scary as shit. Looks like this guy had a health kit and something called an Eve hypo. Makes sense why everybody around here is addicted to substances. Not only is it on every single person, but all around this room there are advertisements for various drugs. It's like if I took out a billboard that says, "Got meth," and then made big glowing signs that led you up towards where you could get the meth. It's completely insane, but the thing about Rapture is that everybody's got it. So, if you don't stand a chance.
True. Oh, and you become so much better. Become so much better. Nothing can stand against you. Would you take it if it gave you superpowers?
This little fish looks like he just had his cherry popped. Wonder if he's still got some Atom on him.
I wonder what your face looks like. You never see your own face.
Look, Mr. Bubbles, it's an angel. Wait a minute.
Like,
He's still breathing. It's all right.
that's such a cool shot.
That shit's hitting. So what I just took is called a plasmid, and basically, it gives you superpowers. Throughout BioShock, there are multiple different plasmids you can get. Some I like more than others, but this one, tried and true, it's called Electrable, and it does exactly what you think. Good for opening doors, and even better for taking down splicers quickly.
Remember, the 1-2 punch!
Now looting is a huge part of BioShock. Pretty much everybody's got something on them, and it...
Listen, I've got a family. I need to get them out of here. But the splicers have cut me off from them.
Like, legit, the looting in BioShock is Fallout, but take out all of the junk. Take out all of the other crap. And there's only one of each weapon type, but you upgrade the weapons. That's basically what this game is. It's a lot smaller than Fallout. Oh man, I want to play Fallout.
If you can reach them in Neptune's bounty, then maybe, just maybe... I know you must feel like the unluckiest man in the world right now, but you're the only hope I'll ever see my wife and child again. Go to Neptune's bounty. Find my family, please.
Okay. Guess we're going to Neptune's bounty. Atlas is an interesting character in that he's the only one we've met so far who's not a cartoonishly evil businessman or a tweaker. Still, it's weird that he would trust a complete stranger with the lives of his family.
Oh man, I wish he'd get into what that lady is saying right there, because if you stand there, that lady that's at the baby carriage, she just keeps talking for so long. Like, whoever recorded those lines, good on them. Because that was a lot of lines for basically nothing, for something that most people aren't even going to notice.
Right through this door here is the Kashmir restaurant, and it is one of my favorite locations in all of BioShock for a couple reasons. Number one, absolutely being the way you can look around this room and without a word, piece together what happened here. Now, the environmental storytelling in all of BioShock is great, but I think this room does it especially well. I mean,
my favorite place is actually the amphitheater place. That place is cool. Where it's like, I don't know if it's not an amphitheater, it's a circle room. Atrium. It's called the atrium. It's an atrium. There we go.
We already know that some form of chaos washed over Rapture like a wave. And in here, we can see that they were celebrating. People were gathering to have a good time and celebrate the new year, 1959. And just based on the state this room was left in, it's fair to assume that that celebration ended abruptly and violently. The second big thing here is that this is where BioShock first introduces you to the idea of taking down enemies using your environment. For example, if you see a couple splicers sitting in a big pool of water, instead of going and taking them down each one by one, you just zap the water and then...
I feel like when you get later into the game, you start forgetting about all these different mechanics that it's throwing at you until maybe if you replay it again. If you replay it again, it's probably easier to remember all of them. But when you're going through the first time, it's easy to forget what everything does, that you can do all these things. Because it's just throwing stuff at you all the time. And then it's also throwing all the upgrades at you all the time. And there's a lot of different types of upgrades you can get.
Boom, they all go down. And lastly, this is where BioShock introduces one of its coolest and most unique features in its audio logs. Now, this might seem like something normal to you, but back when BioShock came out, games were not creating little audio logs for you to piece together the story along the way. BioShock really pioneered that idea. And if you just take a listen, it'll confirm pretty much everything we had put together about the environment.
Another New Year's, another night alone. I guess I'll have another drink. Here's a toast to Diane McClintock, silliest girl in Rapture. Silly enough to fall in love with Andrew Ryan. Silly. What happened? I'm bleeding. Oh God.
BioShock uses
Damn.
environmental storytelling to...
I remember that, but forgot about it. I totally forgot about that. That is messed up. Like, she straight up was just a lover of Andrew Ryan, and then she just got murdered by a group of people.
That is paid off through audio logs. It's a satisfying loop of question.
This is like, is this a reference to Fallout? Or what is that?
An answer that allows you to be in charge of when or if you want to engage with the deeper narrative. Having the option to completely ignore the history and simply follow the surface level goals laid out for you makes further exploration infinitely more rewarding. Are we at it?
Like, BioShock is like, it could have been a Fallout game if they took out the RPG mechanics, all the character role-playing stuff.
Here's through the bathroom, which is probably needed considering where we're going. Look, all I'm saying is you better void your bowels now, because what you're about to see in there will definitely...
How are you? I see you're not responding. I help new streamers promote their channel. No thanks.
Definitely make you shit yourself.
Careful now. Would you kindly lower that weapon for a minute?
Right down here is what's called a little sister. They're little girls that were genetically modified and given big syringes so that they could go around and harvest.
Bro, I straight up got on 2 different platforms advertisements going in my chats. On both Kick and what is that? Both Kick and Twitch at the same time, of course.
Harvest the leftover atom in dead splicers. Where there's a little sister, there's always a big daddy.
Yo. I want to know how he's getting the footage like that. Like, where's that footage coming from? How are you seeing him do that? Because I was only able to see it from this side. Did you have to like bug the game and clip through stuff and use God mode? Because that's cool. I didn't know that you could do that.
Big Daddy. She got his Adam. He keeps her safe.
Okay, terrifying nightmare? Yes, but how cool was that shit? See, BioShock's core premise always revolved around these 3 archetypes in some way. The valuable resource holder, the aggressor looking to harvest that resource, and the protector. Some iterations saw the resource holder being a sea slug or even a frog, but they landed on a little girl to tug on our little heartstrings. See, Adam was discovered by Dr. Bridget Tenenbaum in a sea slug. On its own, the sea slug created very small amounts of Adam, but when it was embedded in the stomach of a human host, it would generate 30 times the usable atom. It just so happened that the only viable hosts were young girls, thus creating the little sister. And the Big Daddies are the most iconic thing to come out of this game, with their design being inspired by French diving suits given a horror twist and sounds reminiscent of whales. Splicers are nothing crazy though, that's just me off of Four Loko. H1 is pretty interesting, but having all of these three together makes the world feel so much more active. Rather than conflict being something instigated by the player, there's conflict all throughout Rapture, and we're just sticking our little noses into it.
My favorite thing about BioShock, I think my absolute favorite thing is the Big Daddies, how they're not really trying to attack you. They won't attack you unless you attack them. You're the problem. They are not really a problem. They're kind of there just, I don't even know what they're doing. What are they there for? Just to protect the little sisters?
So tell me, friend, which one of the bitches sent you? The KGB wolf or the CIA jackal? Here's the news. Rapture isn't some sunken ship for you to plunder. And Andrew Ryan isn't a giddy socialite who can be slapped around by government muscle. And with that, farewell, or das Vidania.
Hang on just a second, I gotta get this guy out of my chat. I don't know how to do that. How do I ban somebody out of my chat? There we go. I gotta do it on 2 platforms. There we go. Yeah, get out of here with that.
Up until this point, Andrew Ryan has just been a name to associate with this city of Rapture. But this moment right here, where he addresses the player directly, cements him as the antagonist. Don't forget now, BioShock is a level-based game, and now that we've finished the introduction, it's time for us to enter the first level. It seems that to get to Neptune's Bounty, we've got to make our way through the medical pavilion, which I'm sure will be a walk in the park, perfectly fine, and no one will cause any kind of issues for us. The
medical place in a horror anything is going to be a bad time, and it was a very bad time. I loved it. It's actually one of my favorite parts of the game. I think actually right before it gets to the atrium is where it's my least favorite part. Medical pavilion is really where you get to learn all the different mechanics, and you get to learn that there's upgrades and stuff.
The medical pavilion acts as a great look into how the people of Rapture functioned day to day. It shows us that Rapture is not just some bland backdrop for a first-person shooter, but a well-thought-out and lived-in city. Moving into the main area here, there's a lot of stuff that we could find. This here's called the Circus of Values, which is just a bullet vending machine, and it's kind of awesome. Now you can either pay full price or
it's the Circus of Values.
Decide to hack the machine by playing this little pipes minigame. A lot of people don't like this, but I actually really love it. It stimulates my brain. The really cool thing about
I like it a lot too. And not when it gets to be really, really hard, but when it's like medium difficulty, I like it. And it's really satisfying whenever you can beat one, like first try, and it's really hard and it's going fast. Phrasing.
This is that the voice that you're hearing, the really annoying like clown laughing, that's Ken Levine, the creator of a BioShock. The mind behind it all is the voice behind the clown. In order to get through here over to Neptune's Bounty, you've got to go through the door that's right over there, and it's locked. So you got to come up here to pull this lever and unlock the door. But unfortunately, nothing in BioShock is ever that easy. We've got to go and get the access key from Dr. Steinman here in the medical pavilion. Dr. Steinman was a renowned surgeon on the surface who specialized in cosmetic surgery. He was invited to bring his practice down to Rapture, where he could revolutionize his field through the use of atoms. Of course, Steinman, being a perfectionist, jumped at the opportunity. But unfortunately, the use of atom comes with a cost.
Atom presents new problems for the professional. As your tools improve, so do your standards. There was a time I was happy enough to take off a wart or two, or turn a real circus freak into something you can show in the daylight, but that was then, when we took what we got. But with Adam, the flesh becomes clay. What excuse do we have not to sculpt and sculpt and sculpt until the job is done?
Adam turned Steinman from a surgeon to an artist, and each of those poor souls, just another canvas. He became obsessed with perfection, to the point where he would stop at nothing and spare no one in his pursuit. He's become a monster, and he's also the only thing standing between us and that keycard.
Why do we have two eyes? Is there some law that says we must? 2 arms, 2 legs, 2 ears, 2 breasts.
Surprise, bitch! Okay, well now we've got a new problem. To get to Steinman's office...
This guy's editing style is really good, and he's just going through the whole game. And this is kind of what I was looking for, actually, in a BioShock video. I was wanting a full explanation of the entire game. And we're getting it. A lore dive. A lore dive for BioShock. It's probably going on my lore dive playlist.
We've got to clear this debris. But don't worry. There's a plasmid for that. There are actually 2 plasmids to find on this level. The first one's in a place called Eternal Flame, which is apparently just a creative name for a cremation business. So, cool. This one here is called Incinerate, and its use is made pretty clear by the oil trail on the ground. Get them splashers crispy. This one is telekinesis, and I really love how they present this one. You find it here in the dentist's office, and the thought process is the dentists love to show off their hobbies in the office, so they made this.
I actually didn't use telekinesis very often. I think I probably should have, because it is very funny. Because you could just pull objects and throw them at people, and you can just pull people too.
Dentists really love tennis, so much so that he has an entire tennis court in the back of his office. It's little details like this that make the city of Rapture feel so unique and creative.
I did stuff kind of out of order, so I didn't get the dentist office until the end of the game.
And now that we've got the telekinesis plasmid, we can make our way back to Steinman's office. Now all we've got to do in here is just take the grenade that this guy throws, chuck it over there, clearing our path to Steinman.
What can I do with this one, Aphrodite? She won't stay still! I want to make them beautiful, but they always turn out wrong! That was too...
I recognize that voice actor from cartoons that I used to watch. Probably like Animaniacs, something like that, Tiny Toons.
This one, too tall! This one, too symmetrical! And now... What's this, guys? An intruder! He's ugly! 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 Ugly!
Also sounds like Borderlands. Is it a psycho? Is that the voice for the psychos?
Okay, so now that we've collected a few plasmids, there's a couple of different ways we could go about this boss fight. Better to lead him down to the water, where it'll do more damage. We could also use our telekinesis to throw explosive barrels at him and let him get crispy. There's even oil trails on the ground, but I prefer to do it the old-fashioned way. Now that he's dead, we can grab the access key and get out of here. From here, it should be a straight shot to Neptune's bounty. You good, man?
It's just you and me. Drink.
No, stay away from her, or it is you who will be shot next.
Easy now, Doctor. He's just looking for a wee bit of Adam. Just enough to get by.
I'll not have him hurt my little ones.
It's okay, lad. That's not a child. Not anymore, it ain't. Dr. Tenenbaum saw to that.
Bitte do not hurt her. Have me no heart.
I went through and saved all of them through my first playthrough. Maybe when I go back and play it again for a future live stream, I will go and eat them all. I will devour all of the children.
Pretty sermon coming from the guru. Cooked up them creatures in the first place. Took fine little girls and turned them into that, didn't you? Listen to me, Boyle. You won't survive without the out of those things are carrying. Are you prepared to trade your life, the lives of my wife and child, for Tenenbaum's Frankenstein?
Here, there is another one. Use this. Free them from the make it to be worth your while. Somehow.
It's at this point in Bioshock that you have to make a decision. The little sister has so much Adam that we need for plasmids, but extracting that Adam requires killing her. There's only one question here. How far are you willing to go for power?
This is pretty good. This is good editing. He's saving her?
You see, here's the thing. Harvesting little sisters in this game is just kind of stupid. It's framed as this choice between power and morality, but saving them still gives you a shit ton of Adam. There is a difference, but it's negligible, which in my opinion completely undermines the decision. You see, Bioshock was built as a commentary on something called objective.
Oh, so what? Like, it doesn't matter if you harvest them, if you go through your first playthrough and you're like, I wonder what happens if I harvest it. I'm gonna harvest it. Oh, it gave me stuff. What happens if I don't harvest it? Oh, it gave me stuff too. Oh. But what if the next time what if it's giving me more stuff? I'm gonna have to compare and contrast. That's probably how a lot of people's first playthroughs of Bioshock went.
Objectivism, which is a philosophical system founded by a woman named Ayn Rand. Objectivism boils down to the idea that acting within self-interest is the most moral path. And so Rapture being built as this place where man would not be bound by petty morality is objectivism realized. The idea of killing
I legit didn't harvest the children because of I figured there would be a bigger reward at the end. It's legit. Is that like the cause of morality for anybody? Are we getting deep here? I didn't figure get that deep in this Bioshock game. It was kind of a simple game, but I guess it kind of isn't.
Little girl for power is a direct challenge to objectivism, as we naturally understand that killing a little girl is wrong, even if it's gonna give me B-hand powers. Bioshock is very ham-fisted in its criticisms, and why I think it falls flat is because, frankly, it is in my self-interest to save the little girl, get more than enough Adam, and also gain an ally in Dr. Tenenbaum. Saving these little sisters is...
I don't even care about the doctor. I was just worried about what's gonna happen at the end if I, ended up devouring all of these little girls.
In no way a selfless act, and had Bioshock made the consequences for not harvesting a little sister be getting no Adam at all, I guarantee you people would have made very different decisions. And
I keep saying devour. I don't think that's really what happens. You're really like pulling the Adam out of them.
That decision would have held so much more weight. Anyway, we've made it to Neptune's bounty, where I'm sure things are so much better. Lovely. It's here where we first learn about Frank Fontaine, a businessman here in Rapture similar to Andrew Ryan, who definitely has
This place was a bitch.
acted in self-interest. At some point, Andrew Ryan got paranoid that the world's governments were going to come and take Rapture, and so he banned any contact with the surface, including the trading of surface goods. Now, Frank Fontaine decided to use this as an opportunity to make some cash, and so he started a smuggling operation right underneath Andrew Ryan's nose.
The worst part is they totally were trying to take over Rapture.
He used these funds to become one of the most well-known businessmen in Rapture, starting a company called Fontaine Futuristics, an empire big enough to rival Andrew Ryan's. These illegal operations put Fontaine at the top of Andrew Ryan's shit list, which inevitably led to Fontaine being shot and killed by one of Andrew Ryan's goons. And though he may be dead, Frank Fontaine has left a stain on Rapture that Andrew Ryan just can't seem to wash away. Anyway, this guy is blocking my path. He won't open the door unless I go find a camera and take a couple pictures, so I'm gonna go do that, I guess. And we can get on with it.
Yeah, that was annoying. That was a very weird part of the game.
We can't move forward until we've got the research camera, which, in my opinion, is a really stupid item. Its basic function is for taking pictures of splicers to do research on them, and the more research you do, the more damage you do for some reason. So, take this spider splicer, for example. You just gotta watch him for a quick second.
Like, I think the camera was probably the worst idea and the worst implemented mechanic in the whole game. And it really, like, pulled it down. If they just wouldn't have had that mechanic in there, it probably would have pushed it up and a whole point for me in the grading scale.
Second, and then snap a pic. Alright, if that's not good, I don't know what is. Hey, buddy. I got your pigs. Let me through. Bitch. Alright, see, now that wasn't so hard. Yeah, he's gonna try and kill me, isn't he? Ugh, God damn it. This guy's too strong. What am I supposed to do? Wait. I know exactly what to do. I'm gonna snap a pig.
Yeah, it really makes no sense at all.
Huh. Sorry. Had to snap a pig.
Okay, what are you
Let's get out of
doing?
here. We'll just grab a quick weapon upgrade, courtesy of Fontaine Futuristics. And now we can go save Atlas's family. All we gotta do to get out of here is pull this lever. God damn it. Oh no. It's an exposition window. That means something bad's about to happen.
You blow a fuse up there?
No.
Can't see a damn thing in that fuse. Give me a tick, and I'll get you out.
I don't know what happened, man. It had to been like old fuses or something. Because it's the water and, you know, it's like an old facility. It must have been a construction. It's the pipes. It's the pipes. It's not getting the...
So dark in here.
Ryan?
If only you could do something, anything, except
Atlas?
just stand here
Atlas?
and watch you die.
Atlas! Oh, shit! God damn it.
Splicers! Get out if you can! Get out and we'll regroup!
Yeah, no shit, man! Hey, don't worry. I'm gonna get to your family, man. We're gonna make it out of this shit! Shit!
Oh, there went his family. If his family was even in there.
Assassin, and then you try to sneak out like a thief. You're no CIA spook. Who are you? Why have you come here? There's two ways to deal with a mystery. Uncover it, or eliminate it.
Get out! Get out and get to Arcadia! Jesus Christ!
Alright, I guess we're going to fuck up Andrew Ryan, and we get to walk through Arcadia to get there. And hey, I'm not complaining. Arcadia is awesome. Not
I
only
like
is all the
Arcadia.
greenery around great world building in that it shows how the people in Rapture actually breathe, but it also differentiates the visuals of this area from other areas we might have explored already. So many games just end up looking like the same copy-pasted environments. But
It definitely has this different tone to it, but also somehow fits because it just all has like this vibe to it, this BioShock Rapture underwater vibe. Like, of course there'd be a farm like this underwater, and of course it would get overgrown and become shitty.
But BioShock has a unique look everywhere you go while still feeling cohesive. Rapture is alive, and there's always something new and exciting around every corner.
True.
See, what the hell? See, even the enemies here are dynamic and deliberate. Instead of just copy and pasting the base splicers, Arcadia is home to a cult of Houdini splicers that worship nature, which is kind of fucking awesome. I mean, when you... Oh, shit, no, hey.
This isn't right. I'm gonna need you to listen to me.
It's been so long since we got a cool, interesting game like this, where it was just kind of, it just came out of nowhere, had its own ideas, for the most part.
I'm no sort of botanist, but I think Ryan has just killed Arcadia. The man's put something foul into the air. Bottom of the ocean, boyo. All the oxygen comes from the trees. No trees, no oxygen. Give me a spell to think.
Andrew Ryan is insane. Imagine killing someone's entire family, as well as destroying all the oxygen production in your underwater nightmare city, just to stop one guy in a weird sweater. Weird ain't itchy, it's itchy. Luckily, though, not all hope is lost. We've still got one trick up our poorly crafted polyester sleeve.
The things that people will do to stay in power, including literally killing everyone, including themselves. Like, straight up.
I think I've got a way to save the trees. It's a genetic vector that... Could you find a sample of Rosa gallica for me? Look in the grotto. I've got to keep working while there's time.
Along our search, we can find these posters that ask, who is Atlas? Which is a good question. We Probably should have asked that a lot sooner. Through audio logs in the environment, we learned that Atlas was
I wasn't even paying attention. I was just following orders.
a freedom fighter who led the working class in a coup against Andrew Ryan. Pretty badass. This is what led to the Civil War in Rapture, the poor rising up against the powerful. Which is kind of just to be expected in an unchecked capitalist market, but what are you gonna do? Live and learn. Anyway, we got our thing. We can head back to Julie Lane.
You've brought the Rosa Gallica?
Yeah.
Oh, what are you waiting for? An engraved invitation?
Damn.
Send it through the pneumo.
Shit. Everybody's so goddamn mean. What?
This is the point in the game where I was like, well, I'm going to be playing this all the way to the end, because this is just, I'm seeing so much, so many different things are happening, and I love it. The story is good. There's so many interesting characters. I figured it was going to be completely lonely.
What happened to joy and whimsy? Where did it go? Was that taken too? All right, Julie, what we do? God damn it.
Julie, we made a business deal, you and I, did we not? Money changed hands. Let me read to you from the
Okay,
agreement.
you know what?
Damn it, Julie. What kind of business deals did you make?
I'm gonna put a pause on Ryan for just a second. Long story short, he kills her. Whatever. BioShock was created by a man named Ken Levine at a studio called Irrational Games. Now, Ken has stated in interviews before that he thinks cutscenes ruin story games. You're not playing a game to watch stuff happen. The point is to interact with this digital world. I, as a player, am not interacting with this any more than I would a normal cutscene. And in fact, I think the glass separating me from what's happening creates more of a disconnect than anything. That being said, I do like this, you know, it's charming. But if it were a traditional cutscene...
I like it whenever game developers have these weird stipulations on what they think games should be, because that's how you get weird game mechanics, and how you get stuff like, oh, well, there's not going to be a cutscene happening, like I almost said Fallout, like Half-Life.
I probably wouldn't complain. To get you up to speed with what just happened, though, this lady, Julie Langford, died, but before she did, she told us she was working on something called the Lazarus Vector, which is a crazy name. And also, she wrote this code up here. The Lazarus Vector is something that can bring dead plants back to life, which is incredibly convenient. And if we pop the code into this wall safe over here, we will get the market key. The market is where we will find all the ingredients for the Lazarus Vector. The components we need for the Lazarus Vector are the chlorophyll solution, the distilled water, and the enzyme sample. And also, I'm going to let my editor Geek put a funny image up on that screen.
That is a funny image.
Isn't that a funny image?
Oh yeah, it is.
Like I said before,
Damn.
everything we need is here in the farmer's market. The first thing we need is right over here, in the same place as my favorite plasmid. There's a ton of great plasmids in this game, but none of them compare to the bees. Oh, fuck. The enzyme sample we need actually...
I never even used the insect swarm. I should have used the insect swarm. Never got around to it.
It's from the bees. So the game here is to fumigate this big room full of bees and then run in to grab the enzyme before they come back out. You may be wondering, why do they need bees in Rapture? Well, bees are useful for way more than honey. For instance, did you know that bee pollen extracts can be used as treatment for an enlarged prostate? So if you're having trouble pissing, try putting a bee directly in your asshole. If it stings, that just means it's working. The more you know. And finally, we can grab the bees plasmid and shoot bees out of our hands.
Whoa, is the prostate thing true? That can't be true.
All right, let's go find the next prostate. I mean ingredient. This one is in the winery. The coolest thing about this place is when you shoot the barrels, wine comes out. Nice. Though there is something over here that I think deserves attention. To most, this body sitting here will just seem like basic set dressing, but if you look for more than half a second, you'll see that there's a story here being told through the aftermath. Leaned up against a wall with a shotgun placed directly up towards his head and a splatter behind him, it's clear this wasn't random placement. The developers put him here deliberately and are implying that he Kurt Cobained himself. And that body's not even the only one.
Hey, that's not a good way to put that.
If you take a look around Rapture,
It's not a good way to put a shotgun either. Ho!
you'll notice that every single body was placed where it is deliberately, with a story of how they died in mind. It's such a small detail that you could easily miss, yet a huge factor in BioShock's elevated level of immersion. Anyway, I went and grabbed all the other ingredients, and we're gonna head back to Langford's office. There's this little machine in here called the U-Invent, and we're gonna use that to make the Lazarus Vector. We'll just put this up in here and watch as Arcadia comes back to life. And along with it, our path forward finally opens. As much as I love this game, I must admit, the mission structure can be an eensy-weensy, itty-bitty, tiny bit tedious. Like, if it were not for the incredible world and story at play here, this would not be worth it. I mean, just look at this, though. How do you not keep exploring a world that looks like this? BioShock.
Yeah, it would piss me off, and then I would go to the next area and be like, alright, I was ready to quit this game. I heard a ding somewhere. What just dinged? Why'd you ding? I don't know.
BioShock is carried by this incredible art direction. I mean, this is the pinnacle of art direction. Everything with its purpose and designed beautifully, evoking an emotion in every room. Even this deep into the game, I'm still blown away at how well they were able to set up this world. A lot of it's even interactable too. Like, you can come over here and get your fortune from... Actually, I think I'm too old for this one. The structure of having a main goal that is barred by these distractions and menial tasks can get tiring really fast. But as long as those distractions have interesting characters and a story of their own to follow, then I think it's pretty cool. Here we go again.
Ah, that's better. Atlas Ryan. Atlas Ryan. Da 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 da. Time-wise, you could get something decent on the radio. The artist has a duty to seduce the ear and delight the spirit.
This was one of the coolest moments, I thought, when you get to this area with the theater and whatnot.
So say goodbye to those two blowhards, and hello to an evening with Sander Cohen.
Okay, Sander Cohen is a freak, but this is a good example of when those distractions are worthwhile and don't take away from the main experience. Compared to other level leaders like Julie Langford or Dr. Steinman, Sander Cohen just has this mad showman's magnetism that makes this level interesting. And it also helps that Fort Frolic, this place that we're going to be exploring, is beautiful. Sander Cohen was a talented artist in multiple regards who resided in New York City before coming down to Rapture. Down here, he stood at the head of Rapture's artistic scene, running a nightclub and owning several art galleries. And also, he looks like this. He was well known for his musical record, Why Even Ask, and his theatrical show, Patrick and Moira. Similarly to Dr. Steinman, Sander Cohen was driven mad by Adam and began expressing his artistry in increasingly horrific ways. You can see all around Fort Frolic the gruesome scenes of his expression. Now, a creative is really nothing without someone to share that creativity.
So if it's affecting everybody, what's stopping it from affecting you or me whenever I'm the main character running through this game, using it constantly?
And so Steinman has had multiple disciples in his time, and right up here is one of them.
Da, 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 da. Oh, no! Oh, God, you sick fuck, let me out of there!
What I didn't mention before is that Sander Cohen has kept us here so that we can play a part in creating his masterpiece. What is his masterpiece, you may ask? Well, of course, we have to track down all his disciples, kill them, and snap a pig. And then we bring that pig down here and add it to the masterpiece. Yeah, it's completely insane. But, hang on, there's an upside here. We get a prize. For this one, we get a crossbow.
The best weapon in this entire game. Well, maybe second best. Well, no, I'd put it best because you use it for longer. Because the other best is definitely the wrench.
And I'm gonna be honest, we ran out of budget here, so each one of these disciples we're tracking down seems to have some kind of vendetta against Sander Cohen. Well, through audio logs in the environment, we learn that each of these disciples was forced to do things against their will.
He didn't even get... okay.
And that their relationship with Sander Cohen was deeply abusive. So if anything, we're tracking down Cohen's victims and exacting one final humiliation. This is an evil thing that we're doing. Also that Sander Cohen will allow us to move forward. And it is also practically the definition of objectivism. Now, once we've taken all the photos and put them up on the wall, that is when Sander Cohen comes to pay us a visit.
It is
accomplished!
And it's absolutely insane. This guy's insane.
This is the end of the level, and it's really interesting because it's one of the few instances where BioShock actually gives you a choice. You can either kill Sander Cohen where he stands, or leave him be. There's nothing here telling us that we have to kill him. We can just go.
Of course, every time. I'm always going to kill that guy. Is there a reason to not kill that guy? Is there a reason to keep that guy alive? Because he's definitely not a good guy.
Thankfully, though, that's the last distraction out of the way, and we can finally bring the fight to Ryan.
I wish you would have went into more detail on that area, because that was my favorite area, is the atrium, because it's got all these areas, all these stores, and like, it's cool.
It's time to either run the table or go home empty. Ryan's got the genetic key to Rapture. We get that from him, and we get out of this hellhole. We don't, then you and I are ghosts.
This place was Ryan's dream, his escape from tyranny. But he became the tyrant he was running from.
I would say this part that he's about to get into is probably the hardest part of the whole game, and the most annoying, because it's just throwing stuff at you.
Turned it into a nightmare. Finally, after everything, Ryan is within reach. But it seems we're not the first to get this far. And who knows?
Not this part. It's the part after this. This part was kind of a bitch too. But the part after this, whenever it's like the actual end of the train station.
Each of these bodies displayed like a trophy belonged to those before us who tried to stand up to Ryan. Our fate be any different?
Even in the Book of Lies, sometimes you find truth. There is indeed a season for all things. And now that I see you, flesh to flesh and blood to blood, I know I cannot raise my hand against you. But know this, you are my greatest disappointment. Does your master hear me? Atlas, you can kill me, but you will never have my city. My strength is not in steel and fire. That is what the parasites will never understand. A season for all things. A time to live and a time to die. A time to build and a time to destroy.
I swear it's always some shit here. Well, no, that's never stopped me before, and it's not gonna stop me now.
This went so hard. And I really thought this was the end. I really did. I was like, wow, this is the end of the line. There's no more.
Come on, big-headed bitch.
Is your daughter your puppy? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Sushon.
Break her neck for me.
What?
Break that sweet puppy's neck.
No, please.
Break that puppy's neck. Would you kindly?
No.
Would you kindly? The kid did it too.
Now would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch? It's time.
Bro, when I wasn't expecting that. It took a really, really dark turn when that happened. Wasn't expecting that at all.
To finish this.
The assassin has overcome my final defense, and now he's come to murder me. In the end, what separates a man from a slave? Money? Power? No. A man chooses. A slave obeys.
Oh,
You think
iconic.
you have memories. A farm. A family. An airplane. A crash. And then this place. Was there really a family? Did that airplane crash? Or was it hijacked? Forced down. Forced down by something less than a man, something bred to sleepwalk through life until they are activated by a simple phrase. spoken by their kindly master. Was a man sent to kill, or a slave? A man chooses. A slave obeys. Come in. Stop, would you kindly? Would you kindly? Powerful phrase.
He's straight up MK Ultra's you. That's what happened. MK Ultra to the max.
Familiar phrase.
This is what happens when MK Ultra becomes successful. If they would have succeeded in their operation.
Kindly? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find that? Would you kindly find? Would you kindly get this? Would you kindly head to Ryan's office and kill the son of a bitch?
Sit, would you kindly? Stand, would you kindly? Run! Stop! Turn. A man chooses. A slave obeys.
I was just playing a video game, man. What do you mean? It didn't give me a choice. I guess my choice was playing a video game. Is that what makes me a slave? Because I'm obeying the video game?
Kill! A man chooses! A slave obeys! Obey!
Rough.
Hurry now! Grab Ryan's genetic key! Now would you kindly put it in that goddamn machine?
Well, he said, would you kindly? You gotta do it.
Nice work, Vio.
It's time to end this little masquerade. There ain't no Atlas kid. Never was. The name's Frank Fontaine.
Frank Fontaine.
I gotta say, I had a lot of business partners in my life, but you, of course, the fact that you were genetically conditioned to bark like a cocker spaniel when I said, would you kindly, might have had something to do with it, but still. Now, as soon as that machine finishes processing the genetic key you just fished off Ryan, I'm gonna run Rapture tits to toes. You've been a pal, but you know what they say? Never mix business with friendship. Thanks for everything, kid. Don't forget to say hi to Ryan for me.
So, if you would have harvested the little girls, would they not be helping you right here? Or would they still be helping you? Then you just fall through the floor.
Welcome back, child. Welcome to the city where you were born. You are angry at Fontaine, yes? Now you know the truth. You are his tool. Brought back
You know the truth?
to save him. You have saved many of my little ones. I owe you a debt. While you sleep, I undo some of Fontaine's mental conditioning. His control is no longer complete, but he can still pull some very unpleasant strings.
So if it's not clear what's happening here, I'll explain it briefly. In BioShock, you don't play as a random plane crash survivor. You play as Jack Ryan, Andrew Ryan's illegitimate son, who he didn't even know existed. Jack was created in a lab by Frank Fontaine and Dr. Tenenbaum, who just saved us. Jack was implanted with false memories and sent up to the surface, only to return when he heard his activation phrase, "Would you kindly?" Up until this point, we've had no free will. We were actually just a sleeper agent for Atlas, who was just Frank Fontaine in disguise the entire time. Atlas never existed, and Frank Fontaine's been pulling our strings all along. Now the brain...
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I wasn't paying attention to the logs, I guess, too much. Or maybe I was paying a little bit too much attention. I don't know. I was just playing. What? That's absolutely insane.
Washing Fontaine did on us was slightly undone by Dr. Tenenbaum, but not completely. So right now the goal is to get rid of any leftover control Fontaine has, so we can go and kill him. Our first goal that is actually ours. The cure we need is in Mercury Suites, so first order of business is to go get that. This "Would You Kindly" twist is probably the most famous one in all of gaming, and what cemented BioShock as a true masterpiece. It's something that, looking back, makes you feel stupid for not realizing sooner. The idea that you've been a sleeper agent all along is actually a jab at how games feed you this false idea of freedom when, in reality, there's very little choice present in most games. It's honestly something most players are used to. The character you're playing wants to accomplish a goal, and you aren't necessarily influencing that.
He says it's really famous, but I don't think anybody that I know knows about this, actually. I don't think it's that famous. I don't think very many people actually played this game, or at least people who remember it exist today still.
Just playing it out. It also makes the events of this game make way more sense. Any rational person probably would not have made the choices that
this place, man, this place was way too hard when I was going through it the first time. Right before I did the ending and I went back and redid a whole bunch of stuff, it was way easier. It was still difficult to get through.
Jack makes in this game, but recontextualized by this mental manipulation, it makes everything click. All right, now that we've got the cure, we're free to end this. Mango. The Little Sisters have been extremely helpful so far, and here, one of them gives us one of their syringes, which we're gonna need. And that is pretty much it. This is what the entire game has led up to. Before we go up there though, I just wanted to say that this video has taken so much hard work from not just me, but my editor Geek as well. We've been in the trenches, really trying to make this thing great, and frankly, it's been time consuming and really expensive. So I don't normally ask this, but would you kindly subscribe and like all the YouTube stuff, share on Reddit. I don't know how Reddit works, but I've heard that's good.
I'm already subscribed.
I want to be able to do this for other games like Dishonored or Skyrim, whatever, but it would be a lot easier to justify doing that if you were to help me share this around, get it out there. So yeah, I thank you for watching my stupid little internet videos. I appreciate it. I'm gonna go kill the guy.
Yeah, let's go.
I remember when me and the crowd put you in that sub. You were no more than 2. You were my ace in the hole. But you were also the closest thing I ever had to a
so
son.
Cool.
And that's why this hurts. Betrayal, kid. Life ain't strictly business.
Fontaine has used Adam to turn himself into a monster. So all we gotta do
Hell yeah, he
is
did.
get it out. Go for the prostate.
Oh yeah, because you can't have gun sounds. That's right. Man, I can't believe he's not going to mention the wrench. I went all in on the wrench at the end. I beat the boss with the wrench. I just kept slapping him. Every slap I made would heal me. It was great. Highly recommend.
I had you built. I sent you topside. I called you back, showed you what you was capable of. Even that life you thought you had, that was something I dreamed up and had tattooed inside your head. Now, if you don't call that family, I don't know what is. And now,
So after all of that, it wasn't you who took him down. It was the little sisters. This part was weird.
They offered you this city.
Cause like the animation, it's not the same as throughout the whole game, so it was very off-putting.
And you refused it. And what did you do instead? What I've come to expect of you. You saved them. You gave them the one thing that was stolen from them. A chance. A chance to learn.
What's the other ending like? If you harvest the girls? Because this is if you save them.
To find love. To live. And in the end, what was your reward? You never said. But I think I know. A family.
And that was BioShock, one of my favorite games ever made. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more stuff like this, let me know. I'll give it a shot. I'm gonna take off this damn sweater. YouTube thinks you'll like this little video up here, so if you want to keep watching, give it a shot. Thanks for everything. Bye-bye.
Bye. It was good. It was a good video. That was top tier. Probably one of the best edited videos on YouTube. BioShock, one of the best games of all time, in my opinion. It's up there. It's probably in the top 150, I'd say. I like it a whole lot. Highly recommend check it out if you haven't played it, or watch somebody play it. Watch me play it on my gaming channel. I have it linked down there in the comments. Disney adults are losing it. I've never seen a Disney adult, but apparently they exist. I don't doubt that they exist. They probably exist everywhere. And I just don't see them because I live out in the middle of nowhere. I don't live anywhere near any place a Disney adult would want to be.
There is a very dangerous virus spreading across the United States right now. It's the Disney...
It's not the bird flu, it's Disney.
Mind virus,
yeah.
And the symptoms of it are actually pretty easy to notice in many people. You'll be looking for mostly people over the age of 30, under the age of 40, who are walking around with Mickey Mouse caps and only seem to want to talk to you about something.
I think they were radicalized by Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Regarding the Disney World. Whether that's a new coaster added to the theme park, a new show on Disney Plus, some recent news regarding an esoteric spin-off of some shit no one asked for. This is a real problem. You have people that prioritize Disney World as a mandate in their year. It's almost as essential to them as a goddamn checkup, okay? If they don't go to Disney World at least once a year, they will develop mood disorders, behavioral disorders. They'll start lashing out at people, making unwise decisions while driving in traffic. It's
like Coco Melon and children. You take it away, they start throwing a fit and having a meltdown.
A real group of people, and I honestly, at this point in time, think there needs to be more awareness made about these types of people. The kind of people that will factor in going to Disneyland/World as a key decider to whether or not they will attend another event. If the funeral honoring the life of a childhood friend that was recently struck by a fucking bus happens, just so happens, to overlap with the release of a Minnie Mouse roller coaster, yeah, I'm sorry to say it, but they're not making that funeral. It's just not happening. Why go somewhere so doomy and gloomy when you can lurk in the Magic Palace? You're 30, by the way, in this example. Like, I hate to be this guy, but there comes a certain age where your ability to be a functioning member of society does tend to tug a war with the amount that you can like Disney. The more you pull on that rope for loving Disney, the less and less conducive you are to functioning in society in a adept way. And there's a lot of things like this, like, you know, talking about...
I don't really care that much, like what you like, but it is fucking weird. I'll tell you that.
Disney adults for a large part of your day, which is what I'm spending my day doing, right? That's probably not great for my ability to meet new people. But I think specifically pretending like you can be this kid forever, this sort of Peter Pan never growing up, I like the same princesses I did when I was 4 years old sort of thing, is not only turning people a little bit weird, but also very fat. Have we noticed the fact that these people roaming these amusement parks tend to not be doing too well? There's always some sort of slippage in the body fat, a little bit of chubbington going on in the lower regions. What's going on?
Well, we all knew that from kids playing Thrillville and amusement park games and seeing amusement parks in cartoons where people who go to amusement parks are fat because the food is disgusting and full of sugar and trying to get you to keep buying more of it.
Going on with that, Meat Canyon released very disturbing footage of a real incident where a Disney adult hijacked a plane and
I watched that. That is a crazy video. Highly recommend if you haven't seen Meat Canyon's Disney adults. Very, very gruesome. Do not let your kids watch that cartoon. Viewer discretion is advised on that one.
Created a mass mutation campaign to all the passengers.
I can't believe my Prince Charming is taking his princess to Disney World.
This is how you know it's real.
Oh, it's so bad. That's probably worse than anything you could ever imagine. Highly recommend watch it.
Because this lady right here has that thing where there's a lot of upper gum exposure. And I feel really bad for people who have this, not because of the aesthetics, but more so because it brings you closer to people like this. It's really sad, man.
I'm so glad I persuaded you to upgrade our tickets. Uh-huh. Baby gets what baby wants. Melvin, don't pinch me! I dare not wake up! Our dream of going to Disney World as a couple is only hours away, my love.
Alright, folks. We're about halfway to our destination to beautiful Orlando, Florida. Local temperature is 85 degrees and clear skies. Perfect for any travelers going to Disney World.
Am I the only one who gets the...
That's like Mad TV got even angrier.
Vibe that everyone who's wearing this sort of stuff is almost the exact same as the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I mean? Like, they all have an attire. They're all sort of worshiping a greater idea or a greater power. In the Klan's example, it's like the white race entirely. But in the Disney examples, it's sort of just like mice that walk and talk. I actually have more respect for the Klan because they believe in something real. You know what I mean? Racism is real. It's bad, but it's real. The Magic Kingdom shit is a little bit, you know, like we're 30 now. It's either you're racist or you're not. But what you certainly don't get to do is pick the not racist route and then replace that with Mickey Mouse worship. It's weird. It's like a goddamn
and then be racist against people who don't like Mickey Mouse religion.
My boy. But there is certainly a phenotype to these people, bro. If you've ever been to Disney World, next time you go, I want you to have an eye for the regulars. Which you can easily tell, by the way. There are people who go to Disney so much that they have their entire days planned out to the fucking T because they've done everything there before. It's like no longer even sounding fun. It's like from 4 to 5, we're going on this ride, and then we're doing that restaurant, and then we're doing this. And it's like they have made their schedule so strict and so tight that there is no magic anymore. You know what I mean? They're clocking into fucking rides.
Too much Mulan Mushu pork at the airport. I'll be right back. It's not Mulan, it's just Panda Express, Jasmine.
Out of my way.
Is he gonna show like the whole cartoon in this video? Because it gets pretty gruesome. I don't know if I can show it on Facebook. Nah, we're gonna take our chances, I guess.
Oh God. I'm not going back. Oh God, should have brought more pads. Looks like roadkill in there.
Wow.
Smells like a roll of pennies. I've got a heavy flow.
Yeah, there's definitely that real phenomenon with not only Disney adults, but certain millennial crops like the Harry Potter fanatics where they never can say something that's serious seriously. They'll come back from the doctor and sing to the fam about I have a pretty clogged artery. It's not looking good. What? You're sick. Doc says I've got a year at most. They have become so allergic to the reality of reality that everything is supposed to look and sound like a Disney musical. And that's a scary phenomenon because, well, life is scary. And when you're singing about everything all the time, as an adult with real adult problems, you look...
I know a lady who bursts out in song quite a bit, and she's got to stop doing that. It's so weird. People think it's weird. People think you're weird if you burst out in a song. It's not a good thing. Stop it.
Kind of fucked up. That's the reality.
Nemo, where are you? Where the fuck are you, Nemo? Oh, there he is. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Are you all right? I can't go back. I won't go back.
To Disney World?
Don't show it, please. Yeah, well, okay. There it went.
Yep. He's down.
Is there a doctor on the plane? It's gonna be okay. Is there a doctor?
Oh yeah, that's a totally reasonable response right there, to be honest.
Please don't kick me off Facebook. I'm sorry. I'm real sorry. I'm not going to take it back, but I'm real sorry.
With you. If you have been sucked into the Disney hive mind cult, I mean, sometimes the only way out is gonna be that, okay? And I hate to show you something so graphic on my YouTube channel where it's like it's literally a real video of someone doing that.
It gets much worse. Like times 100 in that video too. That wasn't the worst part. It keeps getting worse. Like somehow you watch the next part and you're like, wow, that was even more fucked up. And then you watch the next part and you're like, oh, I don't know how they topped that. And then the next scene happens, you're like, they keep doing it.
To their own throat. Like, that's not ideal, right? Like, that's not what the Magic Kingdom's about, I think. But you're gonna be seeing that a lot more when you as a man are enslaved to the Disney-worshipping woman you married. You're gonna notice quickly how things will fall apart. And the next time you're going to the Magic Kingdom, you might not keep your hands and legs inside the rides at all time, if you know what I mean. I almost feel like this is similar to being in a polyamorous relationship, but instead of there being another guy involved that you have to pretend you're not deeply disturbed is stealing your wife from you, it's fucking Mickey Mouse, right? Can we go to Disney? Can we go to Disney? No, can we just stay home for like, you know, more than a month at a time and enjoy this lovely house I worked hard for? No, I want to go to Disney! We can't. How about that? What? We can't go to Disney? And then she starts crying because that's how she thinks the world works. Because
I was with a girl that was like that, not about Disney, but about other things, and it was insane. And thank God that relationship no longer is a thing.
She lives in a fantasy world. She starts tantruming and rolling around on the floor.
Wait, we have a medical emergency! It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, due to a medical emergency, we're gonna have to land in Kansas City. We appreciate your patience. Sit back and relax. We'll be landing soon.
Just land early?
Is he really gonna show this whole video throughout this video?
Like this plane landed. We have to land this plane early. We're not gonna.
This is real footage. They'd rather get to Disney World than help a person dying on the same plane as them. They don't care. The human race is give or take. The Disneylanders are the supreme race. Like, that's what matters to them. Living in this abstract world with no rules, no laws of physics, no being bound to the mortal coil. We want singing dogs that do hula hoop tricks. We don't want to deal with bleeding out on a plane. We want talking flutes and flying alligators and air conditioning units graduating from Harvard and tap dancing televisions, right? Like, forget the fact that a guy...
And toasters on Mars? I want this. I'm down with the Disney. Too bad all of the Disney adults are insane, and too bad Disney is a pedophilic corporation.
Just stuck a pen in his throat. We want a dog who gets up on two legs and starts doing the Harlem Shake. That matters.
Disney World! What? No! Oh, classic Jerry. You ruined this for all of us. Jerry! Land the plane. want to go to... Darn. Yeah. I wish there was a way we could keep going, but looks like that's what we have to do in this type of situation, baby. Oh, well. Is that what you really wish? That we can go to Disney World right now? Because I can do that for you, Melvin. Oh, I can do it for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Taking a real dark turn.
Well, you're lucky that you're dating a fairy godmother, because your wish is granted. I'm sorry, but my Prince Charming doesn't want this plane to land.
Oh, wow. What a great angle right there from the legs. Look at these beautiful legs, these smooth legs. We got a little pimple there. We got some little cracks in the porcelain, some hairs going on. It's just, this is a great looking person. This is a great looking person with their priorities in line. And you know, the thing about this is actually funny that they're mentioning this person being a fairy.
She is drawn way too accurately.
Godmother. Once a year in Epcot, they actually take 100 Disney adults who have proven themselves to be literally die-hard fans. They do a little blood ritual, a little like Illuminati pentagram drawings. A few of the ones more dedicated, they self-immolate while running in circles, screaming M-I-C-K-E-Y in unison. It's this like ritualistic sacrifice. This spirit of Walt Disney fills up the room and grants these people magical powers. That's how this works. And as a result, the Disneyland becomes these people's ancestral land. You know, it's like Jews, they claim Israel.
True.
These people claim Disneyland. That's
True.
how this works. They have a blood and soil connection to Orlando, Florida.
I don't know any Disney adults, but I know some people who are getting real close. That I know a guy that's, I think he's went to Disney World or Disneyland, I'm not sure which, like 3 times in a year. Who does that? I mean, once in a year is too many. Once every 5 years, I could understand that. Once a year, that's too many. More than that, you're insane.
Plane to land, so go tell the pilots that we're not landing the plane.
Lady, Jesus Christ, just sit down!
Don't talk to her like that! She's right! We want Disney! Take me to Disney!
Are you okay? Bro, can you tell your girl to sit down? She's been exhausting this whole flight.
What a goofy thing to say!
I also know a guy who is exactly like that too, where he just, if he's got a girlfriend, his girlfriend dictates everything that he says or does, and he's too much of a pussy to say anything about it. It's so bad. That's what I'm thinking.
Goofy, look at me! Look at me, Goofy! That's right! Who's your favorite character? My favorite character? Dory. It's gotta be Dory.
Seriously fucking disturbing, to be honest, and I run the risk of having this happen to me by making this video. I can be mutilated in a second. These people are out there. They want to invert my flesh and turn me into a marionette of their favorite character. They want to turn haters of their favorite thing into flesh artwork. I am nothing but a meat puppet for these people's enjoyment, and they will.
He's, you know, exaggerating, but he's also not that far off. I've had people threaten me online over things that I've said, because I say some raunchy things right off the top of the dome, and I give no fucks. I will say whatever I want to say, even if it's wrong. And I've had some death threats, and these people are insane, and I'm afraid to be out in public with these people. Not really. If any of these people tried to get near me, it would not be a good day for them.
We'll make it very clear in the comment section. Probably doing some sort of incantation. If there's any weird comments on this video, it's not dead internet theory. It's actually these people casting spells. They're reciting incantations, these demonic chants. You'll see them in the comment section. These people would take great pleasure in using forbidden science mixed in with witchcraft to turn innocent young children into singing animals, okay? You have to understand, there is one thing that matters.
They're gonna turn them into animorphs.
to Disney adults, and it is if something is quirky. They would want to use a spell that could turn a 5-year-old kid with Asperger's into a plate of spaghetti. Like, that's peak life for them. That's their goal, is to turn the mundane into the magical at any costs. There is no regard for human rights, no regard for safety or anything. This is what they care about.
Would you like to become Dory? Yes! Oh my god, yes! Yes!
Look at her. She's happy about it.
Can you tell the pilot not to land the plane and to continue to Disney World? Thanks.
Jasmine. Why don't you let me tell the pilot? The least I can do.
Why does he look like Betty Boop?
Aw, how sweet. My Prince Charming coming to save the day. That's so nice of you. Oh, and one more thing. No funny business. All right, come on, everyone. Time to separate the real Disney fans from the fakers. Now who's ready for Disney World?
This is what I was saying with the Ku Klux Klan sort of comparison, was like the Disney fans can smell an anti-Disney person or someone who's not as into it. They're so discriminatory and they're so elite about their interest. It's actually fucking crazy. People are so worried about things like gambling and drinking and all these vices.
Once again, I've never met a Disney adult, but I've met some anime adults, and they are the exact same way.
Is that we look over things that seem innocuous, but are really tearing at the roots of people's souls and identity. If your existence revolves around going to Epcot, you have a disease. You are sick. You have a problem.
You're sick!
And you should seriously consider looking at it, okay? There needs to be like Disney's Anonymous. Disney.
You need help. You need Jesus, probably.
Adult recovery groups. There has to be like an inpatient rehab program to undo the swamp that has become your brain. We need to get this fixed. It's just about knowing that you're not alone.
What seems to be all the commotion back there?
My girlfriend says we can't land the plane.
Oh, Disney adults! They've taken over the plane! The mutilating people, Captain!
It would sound like ISIS, but it's actually worse. The Disney adult...
Man, that's so ridiculous. That cartoon. It keeps getting worse.
Adults cannot be allowed through TSA. There needs to be a mandatory inspection into all bags of those presumed to be going to Disney. Look in the bags. Do you see themed apparel? Do you see stuffed animals for franchises associated with Disney World? If so, search them for bombs, drugs, weapons, paraphernalia. But more importantly than any of those, go through their social media posts. Get a image, get a visual of what these people's lives look like, okay? If it's a Disney-centered life, they'll hijack that fucking plane. And as a act of sacrifice for martyrdom for Disney, they will fly that plane into Universal, the competitor to Disneyland, okay? There will be mass death. There will be casualties, but the adults will rejoice as they'll see the Magic Kingdom flourishing in a way they never thought possible. It's demented, it's sick, but that's how this is.
What is it? What is this guy talking about? I mean, I think he's talking in metaphors, kind of, but like, you gotta be clear about that. Come on.
My God, not again. When will they learn not to let those monsters on a plane? Keep them on the cruise lines, damn it! God! Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to experience some rough air on our flight to Orlando. The seatbelt sign has been turned on. Thank you. Damn it! It appears all is lost.
I didn't even know the wand was magic. I tried breaking up with her, but she'd just wave it around and I don't know, I felt bad. So...
Wait. What if you tried breaking the wand? And that got rid of her magic powers or something? I mean, that could save all the passengers, right?
Me? Take her wand? No.
Well, you could be a hero, bro. You could be a hero. It'd be just like a Disney story.
I can't even break up with her.
The reality is you can tell this guy is a real human being, or at least is based off one, because he's grayed out, the soul has been sucked out of him, and he's been hit with a visit from the Norwood Reaper. This is a man probably in his late 30s who's balding due to the cortisol in his brain from the sheer anxiety and stress that he's had to deal with keeping someone infected with the Disney mind virus pleased. It's just not going to go well for him. He can't fucking break up with her. He's worried of being smited with the wrath of Disney. He's cooked. He's cooked.
Break the wand, then you can break her heart. The sooner you destroy that wand, the sooner we can take back control of the plane. Please, passengers are in danger. You're our only chance of surviving these Disney freaks. Water! I need water!
Of course you do.
Where's Nemo?
Where's Nemo?
Dear God.
There is no Nemo anymore. He was eaten by the other passengers.
Is the one Nemo pin? And two? Don't touch my pins!
It's mine! Come here!
I didn't realize that the other passengers that didn't get turned into Disney adults or Disney cartoons are just part of the plane now. Look at that. Look at that hand. It's crazy.
No, it's
What? One more bite from the honey jar.
Jeez, oh my God.
Oh, I'm so full yet so hungry.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh.
I've seen this before. Okay, I've seen this before. And it's still, what the hell?
Donald! I want to be Donald Duck, please! Please, please, please! Your wish is my command!
Oh, man.
She had this wand the whole time.
All these people look like they were just put in a microwave, and this is just how they are now. Their brains, their bodies, they're all mutilated. It's nuclear radiation.
They've become Cronenbergs.
And that's turned them into these demons of the brains of Walt Disney, which is surely not what he intended, you know what I mean? It's turning something so innocent into something so vile and repulsive and then wearing it on your chin. Proudly proclaiming to be a perversion of what was meant to bring children happiness, which is such a disgusting thing when you think about it. They're dangerous. They're very fucking dangerous. And I keep saying this, and when will you people listen? This is what we're up against.
My prince! Would you mind holding this? These mini panties are a bit too many if you can.
Yeah, the fact that this had to be censored shows me the reality of what had to be shown was just too much for people. Very scary to think about. Anyway, little fast forward.
I don't love you.
Yeah, he fast forwarded because there was a musical scene going on and it was just kind of terrible, but it was terrible on purpose. I loved it, but we kind of didn't need any of that.
Oh, man, I thought that was going to be way better. Jasmine, I don't love you.
Gosh, Melvin, lay her down easy, bud. God damn.
It just seemed easier to live in discomfort than to break your heart. And I was a coward. And really, I was leading you on. I can't marry you. It's over. Jasmine, I'm sorry. This isn't the way fairy tale weddings are supposed to end. This isn't a fairy tale wedding. It's just a fantasy we're both living. And you deserve better than this, Jasmine. You're right. I should take the plane and crash it into Disney World, killing you, me, and everyone aboard this.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, I dated a girl like that. It was like, well, if we're not going to be together, then I'm just going to kill us all.
That's, as you can imagine, the sort of, we'll see what's going on here. Yeah.
And then you somehow landed the plane. Incredible.
Thank you, Captain. I couldn't have done it without you.
Melvin, your bravery is inspiring. Please, have my daughter's hand in marriage.
I'm gonna have to politely decline. I'd like to be alone for a while.
What a loser!
My God, there goes probably the best man I've ever met. Wave my arm, sweetie. Oh, don't worry, honey. We'll marry you off one day to some fine gentleman, I'm sure.
Wow, what a gorgeous display of events there. In conclusion, Disney adults are the spawn of the devil. They need to be banished from society for good. And that's about it. If you want to watch the parts that I cut out, go for it yourself. Link in the description.
I don't recommend it, but I recommend it. I highly recommend it, but I don't. It's gross. It's a very gross cartoon. Very bad. It's brain rot material. I love I love Meat Canyon. So good. So good. So bad. Disney adults are weird, man. If you're a Disney adult, stop it. What are you doing? Disney's lame and pedophilic. They eat children. They extract adrenochrome. And that's where I'm going to end today's stream. I have Spreadshop down there in the description or in my link tree, whichever one's down there. Both of them are down there on YouTube and Rumble. But that's my merch shop. You can buy my merch if you want to support your boy Fables Folly, your favorite creator, favorite React channel. I also got a PayPal down there if you just don't want to buy some of my merch for some reason. Just give me free money and not get something out of it. Anyway, I'll be back tonight around 10 p.m. to play some more Terraria. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real cool. You should be there.